In the field of unmanned combat vehicles, Germany was undoubtedly at the forefront of the world. During World War II, they developed multiple remote-controlled combat vehicles for actual combat, with the Borgward IV being a heavy unmanned remote-controlled demolition vehicle. Originally developed as an ammunition transport vehicle by the Borgward Company, it was somewhat similar to the British Bren gun carrier. However, it was deemed unsuitable for this task and was considered for conversion into a remote-controlled mine-clearing vehicle. However, as a vehicle similar to a light tank, the initial cost of the mine-clearing mode was too high. In 1942, the Borgward IV remote-controlled demolition vehicle began to be delivered to the German army. Although this new equipment was still a remote-controlled mine-clearing vehicle, it was based on the modifications made to the No. 1 tank obstacle-clearing vehicle during the 1940 Battle of France, and introduced a new mode of operation. Compared to vehicles like the Goliath, which were wire-controlled, the Borgward IV had already reached a higher level in terms of technical performance. It adopted a combination of man-driving and wireless remote control operation. It could be used for short-distance marching by the driver on a daily basis, and for long-distance marching, it could be transported by truck or train. When it arrived at the front line for combat, it could be switched to wireless remote control operation, controlling the vehicle to reach the designated area, release timed explosives, and then withdraw the vehicle from the danger zone. This mode of operation provided the possibility for the repeated use of the demolition vehicle. The Borgward IV had three models, A, B, and C. The commonly found vehicle data online should refer to the A model, which was the basic model and also had the highest production volume, with a total of 616 vehicles. The demolition vehicle weighed 3.45 tons, was 3.35 meters long, 1.8 meters wide, and 1.25 meters high. It used a 49 horsepower four-cylinder water-cooled gasoline engine, and its running gear used torsion bar suspension, with the drive sprocket at the front and 5 pairs of torsion bars carrying the load, without support rollers. Its maximum speed was approximately 40 km per hour when in wireless remote control mode using an electric motor. The vehicle had simple armored protection, with a thickness of 20 mm at the front and both sides, and only 6 mm on the top and bottom. The vehicle could carry a maximum of 450 kg of explosives, which was sufficient to demolish most defensive fortifications. The Borgward IV-B model mainly replaced the radio equipment on the A model, making the remote control operation of the vehicle more reliable. The C model underwent major changes, not only lengthening the vehicle chassis to 4.1 meters, but also further strengthening the armored protection, adjusting the driver's seat, and replacing the engine with a 78 horsepower 6-cylinder engine. The track was also changed to a new structure. A total of 305 vehicles of this model were produced. As an early practical wireless remote-controlled weapon, the Borgward IV used shortwave radio signals to control the operation of the electric motor, with a system voltage of 12 volts. The explosives carried by the vehicle were located at the front of the vehicle body, and would slide off the sloping front armor upon reaching the destination. In order to prevent accidental explosions of the explosives, an electronic fuse with interrupter was also used. Although the Borgward IV seemed to have good performance data, it was not as practical in actual use. The demolition tasks it undertook were not easy to implement. Firstly, at that time, electronic technology was not advanced enough, and the reliability of the wireless remote control equipment was poor. In addition, the remote control distance was only about 900 meters, and it required soldiers to operate it by visual observation, which was inconvenient. Secondly, for this remote-controlled small tank-like weapon, the opponents were not entirely passive. The speed of the vehicle was restricted by the shell craters and rubble on the battlefield, and it could be attacked by anti-tank weapons or heavy machine guns, especially by agile anti-tank rifles and mortars, which could be used to attack it as needed. In fact, the German army also attempted to strengthen it with new technology. For example, in 1943, one of the vehicles was equipped with a television camera, at a time when the reliability of wireless remote control had not been resolved, but this higher-tech equipment was obviously not reliable. In addition, 1B model was modified into an amphibious vehicle, possibly to explore new tactics and technology, and there were several other different models as well. On the eve of the German surrender, some Borgward IV-B and C models were used as ultralight armored vehicles, with 6 anti-tank rocket launchers installed to the left of the driver's cab, arranged in 2 rows, for mobile anti-tank missions. These modified vehicles saw action in the Battle of Berlin, but did not achieve any notable performance.